Right. 1.1, it says to us, calculate the missing amounts denoted from I to IV, which is our Roman figure 1 until our Roman figure 3 on the incomplete fixed asset note provided. Fixed assets, we obviously know that fixed assets, we mean these are assets which we can be able to have to ourselves until, more than 12 months, rather. Better that way. Beautiful. So first things first, whenever you do your fixed assets, your balance sheet, or in any case, always determine either your financial year or your financial month. This it serves as a guide towards everything. So from that, we are told that the information relates to KwaMashu Ltd for the financial year ended 28 February 2015. So if the year ends on 28 February 2015, it means it has began on the 1st of March 2024 and it will end on 28 Feb 2025. Beautiful. Right. So let us start. Roman figure 1, they're looking for additions. Additions for what? For the land and buildings. But one thing for sure that you must understand, it's that land and building, it doesn't depreciate. So then we have our carrying value at the beginning, together with our cost price. Those two amounts, they are the same. Why? Because land and building, it doesn't depreciate. It is an appreciating asset to us. So for additions, don't worry about that. Additions, they simply refer to costs. And there you were given your carrying value, but you were given a shade there. So that is one of the ways that examiners like using to trick us. So the first thing that you want to do, you want to write your formula. So you know that your cost at end, it is equal to your cost at beginning, right? Plus your additions. You minus your cost of disposal. That's the normal and basic formula for everything. So in this case, we don't have any disposal at carrying value. And pay attention, we are looking for the cost here, right? So if you're looking for the cost, that's why I refer to cost at disposal or cost of disposal, because we are looking specifically for the cost of this disposal, not the carrying value. Unless if we are dealing with the carrying value of that specific asset. So in this case, we're only looking for the cost. And of course, the cost is going to be equal to your carrying value. So in this case, it is quite easy and simple because we have the cost at the end, which they wrote it as our carrying value at the end. So now you have 2,946,400. And then your cost at the beginning, that is a 1,516,400. Beautiful. And then what about your additions? Your additions is just going to be a dash, or rather a Roman figure 1, because that's what we are looking for. So by Roman figure 1, we are looking for additions. So with this one, those who do pure maths, they obviously know that you're going to have to transpose. But I would say we reverse all our calculations. So coming down, we would add and minus things. So whenever you're going from down to up, everything changes. Whatever you were adding, you deduct it. Whatever that you were minusing, you will have to add it. So in this case, we would now have to say our Roman figure 1, it is equals to our 2,946,400 minus your 1,516,400. Beautiful. So let us quickly punch that inside our calculator and check answers for ourselves. And when I punch that inside my calculator, I am getting, let me quickly do that. I'm getting 1,430,000. So that is my Roman figure 1. It's 1,430,000. It serves as my additions at cost. Beautiful. Now you're done. Just like that. Simple and easy. Right. So now we want to clean that up and then come on the new one. So on the new one, what are they saying to us? Still, you start with your financial year. This is your guide to your distinction, people. Once you forget your financial year, I don't think you will ever know anything that you're dealing with. So right, for Roman figure 2, they're looking for the disposal at carrying value. They're looking for the disposal at carrying value. So pay attention. It's not now a disposal cost. It is now a disposal of a carrying value. That's what we are specifically looking for. So let us go look through that. So usually there's an information that is being provided. So let us go look that up. There we go. So they're saying a vehicle costing 180,000. It was sold. When was it sold? 31st December 2024 for 70,000 cash. Just because they sell it at 70,000, it doesn't necessarily mean that's the car's carrying value. No, it doesn't mean that, people. It absolutely doesn't mean that. It's something different, rather. So they saying to us the transaction was properly recorded. Beautiful. So since the transaction was properly recorded, let's go do our own shandies and listen. Oh, look here. Accumulated depreciation on the vehicle sold was 62,400 on 1st March 2024. So that was our accumulated depreciation at the beginning. Then after that, they said the new vehicle, it was purchased. So now we're not dealing with the new vehicle. And then they said vehicles are depreciated at 20% per annum on what? Diminishing balance method. So please don't forget, when they say per annum, they basically mean per year. So that's why you should always be careful with your calculations. So there's this formula. I don't know if I should call it a formula, but rather a beautiful method that I was taught during my high school times. The power of the box. So you would have to first determine your date, the cost, the accumulated depreciation, tell us the percentage, and tell us the method of your depreciation. This box, it's there to guide us. So since we are dealing with the carrying value of the disposal, by disposing we mean we sold something. So we will be dealing with an asset that is being sold. So now you have to go back to information and check the date at which it was sold. So it was sold on the 31st December 2024. You write your beautiful date, 3rd December 2024. Then what was the cost of the vehicle? So they said the cost of the vehicle, it was 180,000. You fill that up still. 180,000. Simple and easy like that. And then your accumulated depreciation at the beginning. That's the one that we're looking for because it's at the beginning. That is 62,400. Then of course, you know it's going to be in bracket 62,400. And you know the method. Your cost minus your accumulated depreciation, you get your carrying value. So let us determine our carrying value at the beginning. So that is going to be 180,000 minus 62,400. Then you will get your 117,600. Simple and easy like that. Right. Then after, we have to check our percentage. They told us vehicles are depreciated at 20%. You write your percentage. That is at 20%. What is the method? What is the method of calculating depreciation? Diminishing balance method. Beautiful. So what do they mean by diminishing balance method? They basically mean that your asset, it's depreciating based on its carrying value. Right? It depreciates based on its carrying value. That's the simplest way of understanding it. Beautiful. So let us go determine the carrying value of this thing. So at first, you want to first determine your carrying value. And of which your carrying value, you get it by saying your cost minus your accumulated depreciation. So in this case, our cost is 117,600. You minus your accumulated of 62,400. Then you would get your 117,600. There's our carrying value there. You take this carrying value of 117,600, right? You multiply by the percentage of 20 over 100. Then after multiplying by 20 over 100, you multiply it by a specific number of months out of 12 months. So this thing, it was sold on the 31st of December. So if we were to write our financial year in this manner of say March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So it was sold on the 31st. And since it's the 31st, it means December, it's included. We have been using this asset. So for how many months? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 10 months out of 12 months. So we quickly calculate that. That is going to be 117,600 multiplied by 20 over 100 or 20% times your 10 months out of 12. And you will get your 19,600. So meaning this, it is the current depreciation of your sold asset. Beautiful. But you're not yet done. Remember, we're looking for the carrying value. So to get your carrying value of disposal, simple, carrying value of disposal, you have to say your accumulated depreciation. Oh, before that, you have to say your cost minus your accumulated depreciation, then minus your current depreciation. So there's our current depreciation, there's our accumulated depreciation, and that is the cost. So let us substitute quickly there. And that is Roman figure 2. We substitute. It's going to be 180,000 minus your accumulated depreciation of 62,400 minus your current depreciation of 19,600. So let us quickly do that. So it's going to be 180,000 minus 62,400 minus your 19,600. Then we would get our 98,000. And that's how we do our carrying value of disposal. Simple and easy, just like that. Don't forget the basics, people. Don't ever forget the basics. Scribble these formulas, know them by heart, and know this box by heart, and you shall win. Simple and easy, just like that. Beautiful. So now, let us go calculate the next part of your fixed assets. The next part of your fixed assets. Let's check. So, the next part of the fixed assets, they're looking for the depreciation. This is the depreciation for the year. And we have a new as vehicle by the look of things. We also have the old vehicle by the look of things. And likewise, the method, it doesn't change. So you can decide whether if you want to start with the new vehicle or the old vehicle. So I suggest we start with the old vehicle first. Simple and easy. So with the old vehicle, pay close attention. So the date, of course, it's going to last us until the 28th Feb 2025. Because somehow, some of the vehicles were not yet sold. So Oh, and remember, the carrying value of the vehicle, which was old, it was still 117,600. And we got this by saying 180,000 minus 62,400. There's a reason behind what I'm doing here in order for us to first determine this. And I will tell you just now. So the cost of the old that we're dealing with, quite easy and simple. It's your 900,000 and your accumulated depreciation, that is 570,000. Right. And then what about your percentage? Your percentage, we were told that it was a 20%. In the method, it was still the same. Diminishing balance what? Method. And if you were to say your cost minus your accumulated depreciation, then in an instant, we would get our carrying value, and of which we were given there, that is 330,000. Simple and easy, just like that. Beautiful. So now let us begin to work. So you know the first procedure. Determine your carrying value by saying your cost minus your accumulated depreciation. So your carrying value, of course, is going to be 900,000 minus 570,000. Then in an instant, we would get 330,000. Simple. But the problem is, amongst the old carrying value of these vehicles, we still had something happening there. And what was that? It was the vehicle which we just disposed. So you want to first minus its carrying value. So how do you do it? Simple. You take your 330,000, you minus your 117,600. Let's quickly do that. So it's going to be 300,000 minus 117,600. Then we would get, how much are we getting? We would get, oh, it's not 300,000, 330,000. Sorry, beautiful people. Let me quickly fix that in my calculator. 330,000. Then we would get 212,400. So this, it is the remaining old equipment. I mean the old vehicles. So you will take your 212,400, you multiply it by your percentage of the 20%, or your 20 over 100. Then of course it's going to be 12 over 12. So let's quickly punch that inside our calculator. Multiply by 20%. Then you would get your 42,480. Simple and easy, just like that. So the depreciation of the old, we are done for the year. It's the 42,480. So now, let me write that on the side. 42,480. And the time when we were still calculating our sold asset, we found out that the depreciation for the year of the sold, it was still 19,600. So now we have the old and we also have the sold. So what is left for us to find? The new one, that 411,000. So I hope people understood that one. So now let's go kill it real quick. Not a serious matter, but we killing it, eh? Beauty, beauty, beauty. Right. So let's go read from our information. When was this asset bought? So they said to us, accumulated depreciation. Oh, they said the new vehicle was purchased on 1st January 2025. Beautiful. So it was purchased on 1st January 2025. Right. And then what about the cost? The cost we were given, it is 411,000. Beautiful. Then what about the accumulated depreciation? We don't have it yet because this asset is still new. So let us calculate its depreciation. So with its depreciation, you would have to say 411,000 multiplied by 20 over 100, right? Then you multiply by the number of months out of 12 months. So we bought it on 1st January. So when is it going to last? January, Feb. So we had this for about 2 months this year. Then you multiply that by 2 over 12. So 411,000 times my 20% times my 2 months out of 12 months, I'm going to get my 13,700. Beautiful and easy, just like that. So meaning now that depreciation for the year, quite easy and simple. You want to add the old assets depreciation plus the new assets depreciation plus the sold assets depreciation. So the old assets depreciation, when we were calculating, that was 42,480, and the new, it was 19,600. Oh, not the new, the sold. The new, it was 13,700, and the sold, it was 19,600. Then when we add all those together, we will get our 75,780. And that's how you get your depreciation for there. Simple and easy, just like that. So this box, people, this is our ultimate guide. Right. Let us go finish up. So now, what are they saying to us for the next Roman figure? So for the next Roman figure, it is Roman figure 4. And for Roman figure 4, they're saying we should find our additions. So meaning we bought the new equipment. So let us go check what's happening to our equipment. Beautiful. So when we read from up there, what are they saying to us? They told us new equipment was bought on the 31st December 2024. And equipment is depreciated at 10% per annum on what? On cost. Simple and easy, just like that. So by the look of things, they never really told us the cost. They didn't also give us the cost at the end. It was a shade. So meaning people are hiding something from us. And when we were to look at from our pre-adjustment trial balance, there's no equipment information. This is when panic starts to kick in. But trust me, you really don't have to panic. Don't panic. Record what you know and you will get a guide. So when was it bought? They say it was bought on the 31st of December 2024. So we're dealing with the new equipment. Right, what was the cost of it? We don't know it. What about the accumulated depreciation? Well, in this case, we don't know it, but we might know it. And how do we know that we might know it? You were given depreciation you were given depreciation for the year. And you were also given the depreciation of the old. Right? So meaning we can use the old equipment's value cost and accumulated depreciation to determine the depreciation of the new. Then after that, we can reverse our calculations basically. And they said it's 10% on cost. So 10%, the method is our cost price. So what do we mean by cost? It means now, it's the opposite of diminishing balance method. So with our cost, it means we calculate depreciation based on the cost of an asset that we have to ourselves. Beautiful. So in this case, we can't use the new equipment's information. Why? Because it is incomplete. We have two very unknowns. But I believe for this one, we can do it. Beautiful. We can do it. Always keep that in mind. You can do it. Then how do we do it now? That's the most important question. So you have to open another box right there. But for the old, equipment? Of course, the date, since it wasn't sold, of course, the date is going to be until 28 Feb 2025. So the date is not really that necessary. Now get us the cost, get us the accumulated depreciation, get us the percentage, and tell us the method. So the method and the percentage, they still remain the same. The method is cost and the percentage is 10%. What is the accumulated depreciation? 553,900. What about the cost? The cost, it is 615,000. Simple. Take your cost, deduct your accumulated depreciation, and in an instant, you would get your carrying value. So it's going to be 615,000 minus 553,900. We determine our carrying value. I'll show you the importance of doing this. So now, let us first calculate the depreciation for the year in order for us to deduct it from this very depreciation for the year. Then we would get the new. Beautiful. So now let's start. You obviously have to say 615,000 times 10 over 100 times 12 over 12. Then how much are we getting? We're getting 61,500. So this is the big problem. Because now our carrying value is 61,100. But the depreciation is 61,500. So once your depreciation, it is more than your carrying value. Once your depreciation, it is more than your carrying value, then you know that your asset has reached what we call a scrap value. So we have to apply the scrap value method. So for this one, the depreciation will not work to help us. But what will work? You have to take your carrying value of 61,100. We minus 1 rand. Why are we minusing 1 rand? Since it has reached its scrap value, it means the value of this asset now, it is that 1 rand. So we have to say 61,100 minus 1 rand. And that is 61,099. Beautiful. But what's happening there? Obviously, we know that to get your depreciation for the year, the method still remains the same. Old plus the new depreciation, right? Plus our sold depreciation. To get our depreciation for the year, not accumulated depreciation at the end. Because with the accumulated depreciation at the end, there's a different kind of approach. I'll show it on my next lesson. So in this one, you obviously know that your old It's depreciation. Oh, depreciation for the year we were given, that is 66,099. 66,099. The old, we just found it, it's 61,99. What about the new? That's the one which we are looking for, which is our Roman figure 4. And we didn't have any sold asset in terms of our equipment, so we wouldn't do nothing there. Beautiful. So in mathematics, people obviously know they would have to transpose that. But in this case, you reverse your calculations, which is going to be 66,099 minus 61,099. And you would get your Roman figure 4. And that is the depreciation of the new asset. So 66,099 minus 61,099. We are getting 5,000. So this is the depreciation of the new. So now, since we have the depreciation and we are looking for the cost, you reverse all your calculations. So remember something, people. Remember something. This, it's the depreciation. And this depreciation is the 10%. And according to the method, before I can do calculations, there's a method which we were all introduced to. Given times what we want over what we have. We just found 5,000. So this is given. And we know this is the 10%. Right? You bring your 10 downstairs. There you would have your 10. And what about your wanted? We are looking for the cost. And the cost, it is before any depreciation is taken into account, which is 100. Beautiful. But this depreciation, it's for how many months? Because this asset, it was bought on the 31st of December 2024. So for December, you can't count it because it was bought on the last day of the financial year. Of the financial month, which is December. So you're going to have to count from January until February. So that is 2 months. So this one, we have it for 2 months. So that's why it is also going to go right downstairs there as 2 months. And we are looking for it at 12 months. Then let's punch that inside our calculator. That is going to be 5,000 multiplied by 100 over 10 multiplied by 12 over 2. Then how much are we getting? We're getting 300,000. And just like that, you've solved the issue of your Roman figure 4. So therefore, Roman figure 4, it is equals to 300,000. It's quite a bit long, but it needs a lot of practice and a lot of patience. With those two combined together, you win in everything. And that is our fixed asset. So catch you on the next lesson. We will be continuing with our closing stock and together with our financial position.